Prosperity team, it's Dr. Money coming to you from the prosperity corner of the universe where silliness is sacred and nobody's perfect. I am your POP, your professor of prosperity, and I'm here so that all of our lives can pop with prosperity. When I give my introduction, I always say silliness is sacred. I want to be a little clearer about that thing because silliness is not always sacred. Sometimes people act silly to deflect a serious moment that needs to be addressed. So we really need to put silliness is sacred along with one of my other favorite affirmations, and that is perfect timing, perfect order. So we want to know when to be silly, because there is a time to be silly, and sometimes it breaks tension, but it has to be timing right. Example, when we tell a joke, you have to have the timing just right. You don't just rush into a joke and you don't have a flat voice. You have to have some finesse with the joke, and that's the way it is with silliness is sacred. We have to know when it's time to be silly. Now, often we're very much in touch with our intuition, our intuitive knowing, and we don't really think about, I'm going to be silly now. What we do is that we spontaneously move into the moment, and it's just naturally the right moment because it's spontaneous and it's led by our inner and our higher selves. And so that is silliness is sacred. I believe that silliness needs to move into our idea of prosperity because we get so very serious about it. We get very serious about money. We get very serious about bills. We get very serious about the economy. And even though there are things in there that are difficult and complex, it doesn't mean that we don't need a court jester. We don't need some silliness in to relieve the tension that we might have or the programming that we might have. We just do not need to take everything seriously all the time. So if you have a bill that you cannot pay, I have a bill that I cannot pay. I'm fortunately not in that situation, but I have been. And that is that what we do is that we become present and just say, I'm going to do everything I can about that bill, but I am not going to worry about that bill all the time. In other words, it doesn't need to be the organizing principle of my day if there's a situation that I can't take care of. As I'm saying, we don't pretend, oh, that doesn't exist. It'll work out. No, we do everything that we can do. Sometimes that includes our intuition. Sit down, be quiet, say, what can I do? Listen with rapt attention to the silence and see what moves through us. But just as we do that toward the bill, we need to allow that silliness to come through. And sometimes that silliness will come through in a serious moment and help relieve us of that tension. But too often we have a sense of false seriousness in which we make things serious that are not serious. And that we can let go at any moment because life is not serious 24 hours a day. As a matter of fact, one of my bylines for myself has always been, I am sincere, but not serious. So remember, if you happen to have a financial problem or a problem of any kind, don't organize your day around that problem. Don't organize your emotions around that problem. Now, I know I don't like it when people say, you don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, because I'm talking to you as if I've got these great answers and maybe you don't have the answers. Hey, you can turn around and give me the answers as well, because I definitely don't know the answers for you, but this could possibly be an answer that you can use at some point in your life. Because that's what happens to me. I get these answers. One answer doesn't apply all the time, but there is a time when the answer does apply. And that's the paradox of life. We can't learn the 1, 2, 3 of life, but we have a lot of things that we know. When it comes time in that perfect timing and perfect order, that just swoops in and we can use that as we know how, as necessary. It's like take the medicine only when needed, only when needed. So let's take a deep breath in. And as we breathe in our good. And as we exhale our intention that all other beings receive their good as well. Humanity is a team sport. I want you to remember that. And one more thing for sure, and that is that I love you.